Deep in the ocean, an orca pod is on the hunt. But these aren't your average orcas. These guys are organized.
Marketing team, did you get those social media posts scheduled for the SEAL migration?
Aye, Captain. We even have an automated notification for all pod managers when they go live.
They use Monday.com to keep their teamwork sharp, their communication clear, and their goals in sight. Monday.com. For whatever you run, even orcas. Go to Monday.com to dive deeper.
Regen auf mein Kopf. Hinter via Deckel muss es die kleine Fahrt im Kopf. Geht mir kein Sach nicht, die Tropfen.
Welcome to Kill Me Now with Judy Gold. I am your beautiful, wonderful host, Judy Gold. This week we have part 2 of my interview with the wonderful actor or actress, Kate Miller, who stole my part on Hightown. But it's fine. It's fine because she's had a difficult life. But now things seem to be working out for her, don't they? I also want to acknowledge the death of the very funny comedian David Arnold, the sudden and tragic death. Jackie Fabulous and I were just talking about him on the podcast a couple of weeks ago, and it's always so sad when anyone dies, but when a comedian dies, it really hits our community. And the world's a lot less funnier. So I hope you enjoy today's podcast. Remember, Queen Elizabeth is not listening to this week's podcast. All right, I figured I'd get that in there. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. You decide after college, you're running to New York. You're going to New York.
Well, I wanted to go to LA, and I was supposed to move to LA with Kathleen Turner's body double. Verrier Scatolini was this girl's name.
No way.
A little older than me. She ghosted me. She completely ghosted me. So see how the trauma repeats itself?
Wait, why did she ghost you?
I have no idea. Never heard from her again.
Was she in school with you?
No, she was much older. She was in her mid-20s.
Have you looked her up since?
No, I was so pissed I could give a shit.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But it was someone to find an apartment with.
Yeah.
Well, apparently she had like an extra bedroom that, she needed a roommate for or what have you. So I was going to do that. And then she ghosted. My gay best buddy from junior high and high school in West Virginia was in New York.
Wow. How was it for him being gay in that fucking town?
He got out too.
Did they all know he was gay?
I'm not sure.
Okay, go.
Although Parkersburg had a pretty big, Parkersburg, the town that was a bit larger than Pennsboro where I grew up, was sort of known as a little bit of a gay town.
Wow.
That's, if you Google Parkersburg, West Virginia gay, there'll be shit that comes up.
That's cray. Okay.
So he needed a roommate. And I'm like, okay, then I'll just go to New York instead. I went to New York in December of 91 with a duffel bag and $700.
And that was it?
That was it.
Where did you find an apartment? When I moved to New York, I went to the gay roommate service.
Oh my God, how fabulous. That even exists is fabulous.
It was in 1984. And there was Gary at the gay roommate service. And my friend Bob Romano and I always because I would just do imitations. Hi, it's Gary at the gay roommate service. I'm sure he's gone by now because of AIDS. So God rest your soul. But I wanted a gay male roommate. And I found this opera singer on the Upper West Side and I lived with him, Sam Bird. Okay, so where did you find your...
He had an apartment already on 7th between 20th and 21st.
Okay. And you went there.
Cove Brothers Hardware, which is still...
Oh, yeah, still there. Still there. And you start auditioning and you land a Broadway show with Carol... Huge part with Carol Burnett in Moon Over Buffalo. And... to this day, you say that was the most important professional accomplishment of your career.
Absolutely.
How old were you?
25.
25. And you're on like when you met Carol Burnett, I mean, thinking of you as a young girl in this shithole life, abusive mother, watching Carol on like.
Look, my mom had red hair. Carol Burnett had red hair. In my child mind, why can't my mom be a redhead like this woman?
Right. Was she warm and welcoming and wonderful? And she's just the best.
The best. And knew everything about my childhood and my mom, because she didn't have the best either. Her grandmother raised her too.
Wow.
And she met my mom. I had to, of course, fly my mom up, put her up in the hotel, spend all the money to get her to come to the Broadway play to see me with Carol. And she met Carol, and Carol goes, "Aren't you proud? Isn't she wonderful?" And my mom literally, I mean, I know she was starstruck and all of that. I'll give her that. All she said to Carol was, "You're wonderful." That's all she said.
Wow, she couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
First time I took John home, met my mom. He's like, "Boy, you're like the redheaded stepkid, aren't you?"
Wow.
Like, he just doesn't.
Yeah. Wow.
No. I mean,
Can't give.
That's from the guy that she had, the
But
affair
I'm
with.
sure she's was so jealous of you.
They all are.
Yeah. I mean, I am, because you're in Hightown. Okay. So, how long did Moon Over Buffalo run?
Back in the day before they started starfuckering every straight play on Broadway, a year.
Wow. What a
8
great
shows
job.
for a year.
Were you just in fucking heaven?
I mean,
I would have pinched myself every day.
I was out of my body the whole time. I mean, and seeing my name in
God,
it never validated me
in the playbill.
No, not only in playbill, the Marquee, the New York Times, the New Yorker, Variety. Like, it was massive. It was her return to Broadway after Once Upon a Mattress.
Yeah,
like it was a highly visible, show. It was a big fucking deal. It was her
crazy.
And just
okay.
wild.
And do you still keep in touch with her, or if you see her?
Now and then, yes. I used to have her email. The last few I sent, there haven't been anything. She's also in Palm Springs sometime. I really need to hunt her down.
I need to meet her before I drop dead.
You have to. Okay. And I saw Bob Mackey recently, who did our wardrobes.
Wow. Okay. The name dropping is ridiculous here. Okay. And then you get another show, Amadeus, and you get an agent, correct? And
it took me. I got a voiceover agent in 92, 93, something like that. When I got to New York, I was doing crazy experimental theater in Washington Square Park. I was doing Shakespeare and Ma Ubu at Lollapalooza,
right.
And taking, fake shits in public and being really super crazy experimental theater person.
How do you take a fake shit? You just sit there, you just
get one of those plastic bottles and just fill it with, it's disgusting. Anything that looks
That's so artistic, taking fake shits. I can't
incredibly liberating.
Yeah,
I will tell you, there was something about it. Like,
there is one thing I've never dreamed of doing is taking a shit in public. Okay, I want the door closed. I don't even want anyone in the house when I take a shit.
I was fully clothed in weird costume, and you would squat. In the
I can't
in the park, and then put the bottle behind your butt and squeeze it. It wasn't like
it's still gross, and I can't even shit in a restaurant. Like, if I know I have to shit and it's in a public, I'm like, oh, please, no, it's awful. Okay, whatever. I just want to say to everyone, this was one of my favorite things about you, that your favorite TV show of all time is All in the Family.
Something's wrong with you if it's not yours. This is what I think.
No, I said it's one of my favorite things about you.
Is. Yes, no, I'm saying to any person out there in the universe,
and
if it's not your favorite, something's wrong with your brain.
But it's also that it would never get on the air today. And that when they redid it, they edited it. When they did that live version of it, they had to censor it. Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. But everyone should have to watch All in the Family. But I don't know if kids would understand it today.
True.
you also, another thing that I love about you is that you hate reality TV. Now, I believe that reality TV is the reason we had that orange fucking piece of shit motherfucker. I mean, I love stage and theater and creativity like you do. Reality TV, I do agree, celebrates the lowest common denominator. Like, it's just shit. And there's nothing real about it, you know? And I think it's been the demise of our society.
I agree 100%. I can't fucking stand it.
Right. So you met your husband, John DiMaggio, who is a very, very successful actor, voiceover actor. And he doesn't look like a John DiMaggio. He looks like a John, he kind of looks like a John Omaggio.
Yeah, he's got a lot of Irish in him. He's a ginger.
But he's
not
a ginger
anymore. He's all gray now.
Hey now.
Yeah.
Don't you think it's weird with the redhead and the redhead? You and the redheads?
Weird. Everything's weird.
Okay. So you met John in the elevator. You both had the same agent. How old were you when you met him in the elevator?
26. I was on Broadway.
26
at that time.
Right. So at that time, you meet him. What floor were you on, and how long did you speak in the elevator?
We got on in the lobby together, and he still does this weird little like back and forth shift his weight dance.
Yeah,
he's got a ton of energy. He's got the energy of a hurricane. Like
who was in the elevator first?
I was, and he came in and rushed and hit the door or whatever. Going on the same floor, and he was like, "Hi," did the whole thing. And I was like, I had to pee so badly because I was in LA in my fucking car, and I couldn't stop and go to Bloomingdale's or the diner or wherever you go in New York when you're on foot and just go use bathroom.
Or you could fake it in the Washington Square Park. You can go pee and, you know, call it art. Fountain. Yeah.
But I the first thing I said to him was like, I have to pee. I can't talk. I have to pee. Like,
so
get out
says,
of my
hey,
face.
how you doing? And you're like, I have to pee. Okay.
Yeah. I have to pee. That's how I'm doing. I can't small talk, pleasantries. No, not right now. And then I flew to the bathroom and the door opened. And when we were in the waiting room together, I was very cordial and gregarious like I was and affable when we met each other.
Yes.
Yes. And then we went to Barney's Beanery afterward and hung out into the evening. And he never touched me, never made a move, nothing sexual until 2011.
What?
We were friends. Friends that couldn't get enough of each other's company. We were, I think, just
Wait a minute.
We were not ready. I was not healed. He was like John Belushi partying.
Yeah. And so you went to this, you spent the day together, and then you just called each other and
we kept
and
in
hung
touch.
out.
And I was in LA. We would hang out when he's from New York. He was born in New York and raised in North Plainfield, New Jersey.
I know that. I know because I grew up in New Jersey as well.
Right. And you also probably know him from the comedy circuit.
Yes, I do.
And he was a comedian for quite some time. So that,
we discussed this when we were both auditioning for Hightown.
Right.
And you got the part. Okay. So how many years is that? 2011?
From 96. And then we got romantic.
Wow.
A long time.
15 fucking years. You're friends for 15 years. How?
There were so many almost moments. There were really all along. So many almost moments.
And was he in another relationship? Were you in another relationship?
We met each other's others. He cock-blocked everybody. Sure.
Wow.
And
when did you know I want more from this?
I think I knew the minute I met him, and I didn't feel worthy of it, and I didn't feel healed enough, and I didn't trust that if we'd coupled off when we were younger that
it would last.
I mean, it's like hard now.
Oh, please.
Relationships
being in a relationship.
Hard.
This episode is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Do you ever think about switching insurance companies to see if you could save some cash? Progressive makes it easy to see if you could save when you bundle your home and auto policies. Try it at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
So you went to CBT therapy, which we talk a lot about mental health on this podcast. CBT also saved my life. At what age did you discover you say you're addicted to, you were a sex addict, which is very understandable considering the non-attention you got, no attention from men whatsoever, and then shit attention from your mother.
Who was also kind of a slut, that I grew up around a lot of sexual energy. And,
right.
You know?
And how long did it take for you to get help? And when you were on Broadway, were you fucking
alone? I had quelled that in myself.
When you got to New York?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't healthy. It was also just gross.
Right.
AIDS was even kind of still around then.
Yeah.
There were a lot of factors where you need to chill, Kate. I mean, I was always safe and things like that, you know, and condoms and birth control and all that kind of thing. But still, like, I just knew it made me feel worse after every time. And anything that makes you feel worse or is bigger than you have to really be aware of. I mean, and so I was already CBTing myself to a degree. I was very good in the show. I didn't need anybody. I was so focused. I wasn't dating anybody at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't want any men around me, like nothing. I mean, I'm sure there were a few, but I don't remember anything significant at that time. And then I found CBT around 27 after an abortion, after living with someone that cheated on me repeatedly. And I found out I was pregnant and I didn't have the baby because of who he was. And
because it's your choice. You don't have to even make
true,
an excuse.
but I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, you're not as aware as you think you are because you keep ending up in these situations. That are very harmful to your soul and your psyche and your spirit. And you have to figure out why your patterns are still bigger than you are.
That's why I love CBT. Yeah.
That's why I went.
Yeah. CBT therapy essentially gives you a toolbox that you use for the rest of your life. So when you get into a headspace and you're like, nope, opening my tool. And that's what I loved about it. It's very, it's intellectual in a way. It's not about like, it's very practical and
it's also proactive.
Yes. I love CBT therapy. I think it is, I use it every day. I mean, every day when I'm like, and I'm like, not a real thought, fear-based,
right,
you know, It's just, Okay. So, you wait until 2011. How does this pan out?
How did the union happen? Okay.
Yes,
so
I went
through one of the worst periods of my life in my early 40s in New York.
Mm-hmm.
I supported myself, as you know, a lot through voiceovers and.
Yes, I know. Do a little voiceover thing for me. Please do like
Stater Brothers peaches are just $29.99, right?
Okay, wait. Do like Discovery Channel.
I don't even remember that copy.
All right, do like coming up
next on the Discovery Channel at 8:00. You'll see tigers finding their dinner, whatever.
Okay, I love it. Yeah.
At Macy's, and then there's the cosmetic. It's all so different now.
And
now everybody sounds like a vocal fry girl that has no inflection, and that's who gets the voiceovers. And there's a lot of non-union, so that's okay.
You know what's so bad?
Right?
I think I would be so good at and I never. It's like the same people get voiceovers, you know, and I have never gotten. I mean, I am the voice of some video game, and I don't know where the fuck it is, but that's it.
Oh, my career is nowhere near where it was in my 30s.
Hey, now, yeah, because your voice really. Okay, go ahead.
So shit dried up. I had a thing on One Life to Live. I had a recurring Law and Order that dried up.
Oh, I love the Law and Order. that you post because it's pre-COVID and it's all about a PCR test and all that shit. It's so funny. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. A bunch of national networks stopped. So I had hardly any income. I was in a stupid, expensive apartment. I moved to Williamsburg with a roommate who also ghosted.
What's with the ghosting?
No, and I'm only realizing this talking to you right now.
That's crazy. Okay.
So I took over this apartment. It was a fabulous apartment on Roebling and Metropolitan. It's where Madonna shot that movie about the Windsors. Gorgeous, massive, cheap, but no fire escape, no buzzer, no security. I was financially, compromised a bit right then. I wasn't paying rent. They threatened to evict me. I went down to the courthouse and found the COO, and there is no COO, only for commercial, rentals. They weren't supposed to be renting out for real estate, for residents. So I won a year's worth of rent and $30,000, and I represented myself, and then I took that and came to LA.
So you represented yourself because you had already been an attorney on Law and Order. Yes. So I rest my case.
Art imitates life.
Yes.
Life imitates art.
And so you moved to LA.
Because I had this money and I just was stuck. My personal life was shit.
I get it.
My business was drying up. Am I ever going to get married and have a kid? I'm 41. Is this who I am? I need to do something. I need to.
And you go. And John's in LA.
Yeah, and we've always been in touch, and we've always been there for each other as friends. And I literally brought my cat, put all my shit in storage in Williamsburg, East Williamsburg, at Moish's. Jubal.
Oh, fuck. Okay, there at Moish's, yeah.
Yeah, and then I came out here in 2010, dicked around at 3-month rentals with my cat and hardly anything that I own. Trying to feel out LA. It was a nightmare. Couldn't get a manager. Oh, my agency folded at the time.
Oh, nice.
My New York voiceover agent got mad that I wouldn't go with them on both coasts because I'd been with my VO agent here in LA since like 95. And I'm loyal. And they dropped.
Yeah, I'm loyal too. It's not good. Go.
I know. That's a whole nother.
Yeah. Oh, please.
They dropped me, and I'm like, how am I going to work? Right. Luckily, One Life to Live came back around 2011, 2012, maybe.
What was your character's name on One Life to Live?
Nadine Lovett.
Nadine. Okay.
Crazy in and out of jail, sister of a military boy, swindler, grifter.
I got you, Nadine. Okay.
And John and I really gelled when I was going through this terrible time in my life because I finally got vulnerable enough to need somebody. That was a very long answer about how that happened. I'm sorry.
Okay, but then what do you mean? You're out, and who makes the first move?
I think I gave him a green light somehow. I've never let my guard down on anybody like that. I remember literally being on the floor sobbing in his former house in the kitchen,
and he came over.
So much self-loathing and confusion, and I just felt so lost, and I'd accomplished so much so young, and I felt like it was all my fault, and karmically this is happening to me because I'm a fucking cunt, and all the
that's true because you took my part on Hightown.
But he was really there for me. I was like, wow, this person saw me at my worst and he's still here.
Didn't ghost you.
He didn't ghost me.
And
he still hasn't. And I have no idea why he hasn't.
Oh, please.
He's so lovely.
And so you got married in 2014.
Yes, we got a house together in 2012. We moved in spring of 2012, we moved in with each other. 2.5 years later, we got married in Big Sur. It was lovely.
Did your mother go to your wedding?
That's when we stopped. I didn't speak to her for 1.5 years before she died. And most of my family went like that after the wedding because I finally got someone that really loved me and I knew what it was supposed to be.
So you were letting go of whatever little bit. It was like, I don't need this little teeny.
She wanted to come to Big Sur, but she didn't want to come to the ceremony because of where it was, and she didn't want to walk and break a hip, but she still wanted me to fly her there and put her up in a hotel.
You know what?
So I said, no, Mom, if you're not coming to Big Sur to see me get married, I'm not paying to have a family reunion.
Right. Good
Sorry.
for you. Good for you.
You're not invited anymore.
I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
This week's episode of It's Judy Show with Judy Gold is sponsored by BetterHelp. And if you know me, which I think you do because you're listening to my podcast right now, you know that I am a big advocate for therapy. I think it benefits everyone. I think there's so many people who need it, who don't partake. It is so important for your emotional health and well-being. Therapy is fantastic. It is in every stretch of the imagination. And if you're thinking of starting therapy, please do it. But please give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online. It's designed to be convenient. It's flexible. It suits your schedule. You fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. I have switched therapists in my life. I've had many, many therapists, and you know, sometimes it's not a great fit for you, but don't give up. Therapy is beneficial. You can learn about yourself, you can process, and just be emotionally healthy. I'm telling you, do it. BetterHelp is great because, you know, when I used to schlep to my therapist's office, it was so annoying. You have to do it, and you sit there and you wait, and then I'm telling you, doing it online is fantastic. And BetterHelp is amazing. I know a lot of people who've used it. So if you're thinking about therapy, go to BetterHelp.com. Let the gratitude flow. This is Gratitude Month, people. So you need to let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/JudyGold, JudyGold, today, and you will get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/JudyGold. You're welcome.
I find this to be something I couldn't deal with. You're both in the same business. I saw an interview where he's getting interviewed for a film, the baseball film, and you're there. Mm-hmm. And you say something, but it's like, it looks.
There's a shadow.
Yeah.
He let me shine at the Hightown premiere, which was nice. When it's my turn, I do. John's a freaking planet. It's really his presence on the planet for a cartoon character it looms large.
Yeah.
He makes people happy.
Right.
He is a universal energy ball force powerhouse. When I was younger, sure, I still need all the attention because I never got any as a child, but I really don't need it. It makes me very uncomfortable because it's not familiar for me.
Right.
And I know this. And I now know this about myself as I get older. I am an introverted extrovert. If you take me to a party, I have hardly any small talk to make. I would rather be in the corner.
Oh, that's me. That's me.
Like, really?
The thing is, because you have the whole ghosting thing, is that in showbiz, you are ghosted all the time.
Every fucking day.
We love you, never hear from the person again. Red carpet. Like I talk to people all the time. I've been around for so long, and then I'll get on the red carpet and I'll hear one of the people like, who's that? What's that? And I'm like, oh my God, I'm in the fucking show, asshole.
Oh, I had to do that, but I had to do that for John for Zootopia.
Right. That's what I feel like. Like, do you get enraged in those situations?
I get more enraged for him than I do for me. If I'm not in it, why should anybody know who I am? I know what I am. I'm a blue collar actress that flies under the radar. And I'm lucky enough to have done everything in this business short of porn and infomercials. But in terms of needing people to know who the fuck I am, I feel like I more need people to know the fucking work I do than know who the fuck I am. Like, pay attention to my work. Right. Be impressed by that. Don't be impressed by me.
Right.
So if I'm
That's what I feel like. Like, people.
I'm sure people don't believe that, but whatever.
No, but I feel like, when people, I never wanted to be like famous I wanted to be sort of Alan Alda famous.
Same.
Someone who is
Lithgow
revered.
famous.
Yes, revered by their peers because they do such excellent work.
Catherine Hahn. I mean, the
Yes,
list.
yes, those are the kind of people. And that's what I've always wanted. And I've seen, and the other people who want to be like, you know, I mean, I don't know Barbara Streisand, but you know what I mean? Like really
stage fright.
Yeah. I find that, oh, shit. Because I'm so into this fucking conversation. That I feel like I never wanted that, but I do want the recognition. Of course,
I want recognition and respect, accolades.
Respect, yeah.
Accolades. Look, we have social media for attention,
right?
And it's the perfect kind of attention.
And it's terrible attention. And
but in a weird way, it's terrible attention because we're all addicted to it. We're on it too much, and we feel obligated to let everybody know what we're doing so we can be relevant and all that stupid shit. But in a weird way, it's the best kind of attention because you don't have to deal with really the people giving you attention.
Right? You can, but
I'm in my bubble, and I felt cute. Here's a picture of me. You look the best in selfies. I can be in control of this.
Yeah, but I get a lot of like, you're a fucking asshole Jew.
Right.
You know, a lot of anti-Semitism.
If I went where you go, which I really often want to every fucking day, I would get the same. Someone said something to me on Facebook the other day about my rant about Trump saying that the documents were declassified before they planted them or whatever. And he's like, you need to stop getting your information from memes. And I said, you need a haircut and a brain. Like I can get really fucking nasty. Mm-hmm. So I try not to.
It's so funny because yeah, and then what they do is like with me, they'll come back. Oh, remember when you were funny? No, I don't. And it's like, shut up! Like you're cool. You know what? You're in your basement jerking off. Yeah, I do Twitter because it's like I'm more into word type joke. Right. Yeah, I know. Right. I hate it. I hate social media. I fucking hate it. And it's a necessary evil in this shit fucking business that we've decided to be in. So you're in LA right now. What
Just got back from New York.
Where you were doing Hightown.
Well, I was doing Hightown in North Carolina.
How many more seasons of Hightown? Jerry Bruckheimer, yeah.
We don't know if there's a season 4. I think we were quite surprised to have a season 3 because of the way streaming things are.
Yes.
Cheap. Everybody got cheap. No one wants to extend anything past 3 years.
Oh my God. And
right
yeah.
And there's
the residuals are terrible too.
It's so weird. It's
I know.
So weird. But you know, New York in August, the whole month of August feels like a Sunday.
Oh, yes.
And I'd been away from John so much since May, New York and North Carolina for Hightown. And he's out here doing work right now. I'll go back just after Labor Day to the city.
And do you guys?
I feel more like I'm more based in New York than I am here, but it's pretty even.
Yeah. Do you talk to him? Like, do you guys have conversations about like rejection and all the shit that happens in? And it must be hard when one's doing really well and the other one's like.
You know, we don't have that.
Okay.
We really don't, because I'm not going to get the parts he gets. He's not going to get the parts I get.
Yeah, that's right. Because you're a woman, he's mad.
And what bothered me when we were first together was that he's such a big voiceover person, and I had a TV animated series before he did.
Right.
It's sort of a cult, favorite. They treat me out here like I've never done a voiceover.
Oh, please.
Animated thing my entire life.
Yeah. Yeah, they treat everyone like that.
And out here it's a very small club.
Yeah. I think the voiceover thing is very small. All right. Now, I ask my podcast guests, if you listen, you know this. 2 questions. Okay. One is the mental health question. So now I know CBT therapy. I know microdose, which is the fucking best. What else do you do for your mental health?
Nature. 100% nature.
Gardening. I love that.
Nature. I need nature. I need to be around quiet. I need to be around water.
Well, that's great that you are more based in New York. That's fantastic.
Well,
I agree.
Why I'm so lucky right now, because when I come to LA, and we've got a little place in Palm Springs too.
Oh,
which is since, I guess we've had that house since 2015.
Wow, that's nice.
2014. Yeah, that's fun and that's
gay.
Yeah, and also very Jewish.
Yes.
It's great. It's so much more mellow than LA.
Yeah.
I actually, oddly enough, the biggest main house is in LA, and it's the place I spend the least time.
Wow. It's nice. It looks really nice.
LA is just
what
weird.
area, what neighborhood are you in LA?
We're up in the little hills of Studio City. Above
I love that. Okay.
So yes, nature and meditation.
Yeah. Do you do transcendental whatever? Okay. Here's
I'm not
the thing.
that deep into it. I get still in the day. I try to quiet my mind.
And I learned how to meditate, and then I really want to do transcendental meditation because every comic who's like, oh, I got my mantra and they're all like successful. I'm like, I need a mantra. I fucking need a mantra. And the guy never fucking called me back. Okay. And he's like, he had the meditation. So he's like, oh, I'd love to help you. And he's like all into the big, famous people, Jewish. And I have no mantra. So my mantra is fucking call me back. Okay. Talk about being ghosted. I got ghosted by the transcendental meditation teacher of the stars. Okay.
This is about all that whole thing too, just real quick. I want to be my own guru. I don't need, guide. I'm super independent. I don't need to put all of my, no.
Okay. And my last question, because it's called Kill Me Now, because I get pissed off at everything all the time. What pisses you off more than anything in the entire world?
Cell phones in public.
Nice.
Turn your fucking, I will Patty Lupone people on a daily basis.
I do that all the time. I literally, when we go to a show, I turn it off.
It's not just a show, the coffee shop, like the doctor's office, wherever the fuck you are, turn your fucking phone off.
Okay, what about the people that talk on the phone and the other person's on speakerphone and you hear, it's like, shut the fuck up.
FaceTime.
It's horrible.
I will literally.
It's called a headphone.
Person.
Yeah.
Inappropriate. Like that's what I would say to people.
I have gone up to people and said headphones, like in their fucking face.
That's a good one. I might have to steal that.
I just say headphones. The other thing is when in New York, when they're walking down the street looking at their phones and they're walking towards me, I stop and I start going like that. I just start waving my hands until they look up and they're like, oh, and then it's awful.
Manners are a sign, lack of manners are a sign of low intelligence, if you ask me. Right?
Well, it's also selfishness. It's like,
it's so
I don't have to have manners because, I don't give a shit. It's like you don't fucking care.
Right.
Yeah.
And if our faces are in our fucking phone all the time, why do we have to have our ringers on full volume or
I have it on. People are like, you never pick up the phone. I'm like, yeah, because it's off. I don't want to hear it. Even though, guess what my ringtone is?
What?
Mary Tyler Moore Show theme.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Yes. Who can turn the world on with her smile?
I actually met Mary Tyler Moore during that play, and she was very, I met a lot of wonderful people during that time that came to see Carol.
You're so lucky.
Yeah, and then look, right? I thought I was going to have, this is showbiz.
Showbiz, up and down.
Illustrious Broadway career.
Yeah, no, up and down and down and up and up and down. Up and down, up, down, down, up. Kate, I would love to see you when I'm back in New York.
Let's do something. I would love that too. I mean it. Coffee, dinner, Mary's Fish Camp, something.
I'll do it. And also, I'm not jealous of the Hightown. I'm happy for you. Didn't I? I definitely texted you after. And I was like, I knew it. I knew it.
You were lovely about it. You said Mazel Tov or something. Yeah. And then I ran into you again shortly after that. And I wasn't quite sure how you felt about me, but you were maybe very busy.
Where?
I don't remember. I think we came to see you do stand up. You were too distracted. It was before a show.
I can't even focus. People are like, oh, can we say hi before? And I'm like, no, I'm in enough.
Because I'm such I'm like the biggest fan of yours.
And I love you.
Think about this in terms of casting. How if the lead character is a lesbian, right?
Yeah.
And that's her whole trip on the show, besides, struggling with addiction and whatnot.
Yeah.
They can't cast a gay icon. You would have totally overshadowed her. You're a gay icon. You're famous. That's why.
Oh, I'm not famous, but thank you.
You were too big for the role. They needed a nobody.
I'm always too fucking big, and you're not a nobody.
Physically. I don't mean physically.
Okay.
I mean...
Well, the thing is that don't ever take anything personally before a show.
Ever.
Elisa, my lover, my sons, can all attest to the psychotic break that I have before a show, because I have to focus so much, and I'm thinking like, oh God, the anxiety, and then once I get up there, I'm like, oh God, this is the greatest thing in the entire. Yeah. So that had nothing to do with you.
I had all of that before this morning, but I'm so.
But we had so much fun. Oh, I love you. All right, so we're gonna get together.
Okay.
Fuck TJ Miller's wife, Kate Miller. That's not who Kate Miller
Well, her
is.
IMDb page is now back to Kate Gorney, so there's progress being made.
What is wrong with people?
SAG-AFTRA literally had to tell her you're not allowed to do that. There's already
the doctor. All right. Well, I thank you for being on my podcast. I really appreciate it. And we'll see each other on the East Coast.
Yeah, I'll be in the city in September.
Okay, I'm sure we'll be in. Too bad they don't do auditions in person anymore, because I'm sure we'd be going out for the same exact stuff. I'm kidding. Thank you so much for listening to part 2 of Kill Me Now with the one and only and very talented Kate Miller, who is an actress but not married to TJ Miller, as we learned this week and last week. Anyway, Kill Me Now is produced by Laura Vogel, edited by Colin Schmaling. This podcast would not be possible without the help, the work, the devotion, the loyalty of Brittany Jo Sowards, who is married to a Jew. Where's my bell? I can't find my bell. There it is. Okay. If you have not subscribed or left a review, what the fuck is wrong with you? Seriously. Please, I need 5 stars. And the more listeners I have, the more likely I am to be able to continue doing the podcast, because it's getting to be a little bit of a financial burden. You know what I'm saying? But I love doing it, and I love telling people stories. So if you haven't read my book, listened to my book, jerked off to my book, because it's such an aphrodisiac, please do it. It's called Yes, I Can Say That. And in the spring, it will be coming to a theater in New York City. It is going to be a stage show, a one-person show based on the book, starring moi. So I hope you can read it before you come see the show. As I mentioned, no more Queen Elizabeth. And I wonder what's going on up there. Also, Diana's probably got a lot to say to her. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I just had someone tell me they listened to the end of the podcast. Well, I know that Katie Campbell listens to the end of the podcast because I play tennis with her mother, and she's the greatest. She's like one of my best fans, I just want to say, and she's adorable. So I love you, Katie Campbell. And I love your sister, Annie, who I also played tennis with. But yeah, it's summer's over. Summer's over. I'm going to still try to... Lisa and I are deciding that we have to play tennis in the winter indoors, because what happens is we play... And we get really good by the end of the summer. Well, she's fucking way better than me, by the way. Anyway, and we get skilled, and then we just don't play in the winter. And not happening. Okay, we're going to change our ways. What else do I have to tell you? I guess that's it. I hope everyone has a lovely week. I know it's back to school, so for all the parents, yahoo! Because you don't have to entertain your kids. And I know I'm not allowed to announce this, but I'm saying it anyway. Ben made captain of Trinity basketball. Ben, Jewish. Anyway, that's it. I can't believe anyone is still listening. I really can't. And if you are, I love you. I fucking love you. All right, have a great week. Thank you so much for listening. And as we always say, so long, ga 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 ga.